So if you're a big fan of fantasy, sci-fi movies, comic books, and more, then we've got one event that you will not want to miss coming up in December. To tell us more about the Ocean City Comic-Con is James Dufendach. Welcome to the CoastLife Couch.
Thank you so much for having me.
Paige and I are excited to talk to you because we're some big fantasy readers. We were big fantasy world consumers and a little bit of sci-fi here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But tell us about the Ocean City Comic-Con and really how you guys started and how you guys have expanded over the last couple years.
Well, we are the largest pop culture event kind of on the shore these days.
Yeah.
And we run the gamut from, it's not just comics.
Yes.
It's comics and sci-fi and anime and art and just a lot of sort of nerdy stuff all glommed together.
Yes.
We started as a hotel show our first year, and we immediately outgrew that idea.
I bet.
2,500 people showed up to a hotel lobby. It was wild.
Amazing.
It was snowing, so I thought no one was showing up, quite honestly. And now we're pretty much the entire Ocean City Convention Center. We've grown out the 2 days, December 14th and 15th, and we're really excited about it.
As you should be.
Yeah.
I've attended a few conventions myself, and I've got to say, especially since it's happening in December, it's going to be a good spot to find that last minute perfect gift for somebody, because a lot of those, a lot of vendors usually bring handmade stuff, custom made stuff. Like, they're going to be gifts that you really can't find anywhere else.
Absolutely. We are going to have so many unique gifts. We have local artisans and crafters, and also from kind of all over the Mid-Atlantic, as well as people who are selling just fantastic comics and vintage toys and Funko Pops and anything you can imagine. Or, you know, from one of our guests, you could get an autographed item and really get a unique experience for
Yes,
that would be really cool.
Let's dive into some of those guests.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a really diverse set of guests this year. Again, I try to kind of get them from all over the place. We have comic book creators, Peter Tomasi, Greg LaRocque, Mark McKenna. I mean, it's a very long list.
Yeah.
Just as examples. As far as media guests, we have 3 of the original mocap actors from Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
So Daniel and Carlos Pacina and Anthony Marquez, and they're fantastic.Ey're really good to talk to. We're also going to have the gentleman who played Kincaid on Ken Sagos on Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4.
Wow.
We're going to have a bunch of zombies that were in Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead. And actually, Eugene Clark from Land of the Dead will be appearing in makeup, so you can get a zombie picture with him.
Nice.
And many, many more beyond that as well. We just announced a voice actor who was on Power Rangers and One Piece. Campbell Cooley is his name.
Cool.
And then we have an amazing amount of panelists. Everything from Bigfoot stuff. Salisbury University, they're doing one it's Can You Survive the Apocalypse? And it'll be like a game show. It's very fun.
That's so fun.
We're going to have an anime translation panel.
Cool.
Lots and lots of like comic art panels, so you can learn more about creating your own characters and your own comics. I try to keep things as educational and interesting as possible.
Yeah, well, sounds like it. And I mean, there really is something for everybody that likes to, you know, just get swept up in their imagination a little bit. But I think this is, conventions like this are a great place where everybody gets to be a kid again.
Yes. Oh my God. I mean, how many of us think like, oh, I wouldn't be into Comic-Con, and then you hear something about, you know, maybe your favorite sci-fi movie growing up, Star Wars or something, Star Trek, and all the guys are suddenly like, oh, okay.
Well, maybe I'll go.
I could get into this.
And then they go, and they're the ones that buy the most.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a blast. Do you see that a big, you know, difference in demographic who comes, a big group?
We do. We really have we have a very diverse amount of attendees. So we get a lot of families in, which is great. We really geared the admission toward that. I want to get young people back into these things. You know, we want to make sure that we have an audience in 20 years. But, you know, we get a lot of your normal sort of Comic-Con consumers who are coming in to buy comics, and we get a lot of people here on the shore who have never been to anything like this before. And because we're accessible and because we're inexpensive and because of all those things, they're going to come check us out. And it's December, let's be honest.
What else are you doing?
Right, exactly. There's not a ton to do down here. So yeah, I would say that we get a really broad spectrum of folks who show up.
Yes. Now, are you encouraging folks to arrive in costume?
Oh, absolutely.
It's one of my favorite parts about conventions.
Yes, so we have a huge cosplay component. So you get $1 off if you come in costume. I'll give you a discount for walking in to do that. You also get $1 off if you bring a canned good for Diaconia.
Nice.
And we stack those two things. So come in costume and bring a canned good.
Enough.
We also do a costume cosplay contest. It's free to enter once you get in. We have huge prizes. I give literal tubs of prizes to first, second, and third.
That's awesome.
And we'll be doing kids, adults on Saturday, and then groups, kids kids and adults on Sunday.
Very fun. All
Sounds
right.
like a great weekend plan
Yeah,
for you.
definitely.
So James, one more time, the when, the where, and how people can get tickets.
Okay, so it is at the Roland E. Powell Convention Center in Ocean City, Maryland. It is December 14th and 15th, and you can find tickets at oceancitycomiccon.com.
Perfect.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Yep. So you got your weekend plans for that weekend, and it's going to be tons of fun. If you go, send us tons of pictures because we
Yes.
want to see. And James, thank you so much for coming in and sharing about Ocean City Comic Con.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
But we do have some more events and stuff to tell you about when CoastLife gets back, but we got to take a quick break first.